unexpected twist in a scramble match that never should have taken place. Welcome to Wrestle-Talk with John and Drew. And this is our little thing we do on a Tuesday. Now, before we get into the big news, which is obviously Jericho, let's take a listen to something that happened through Monday Night Raw.
Next week, Ray, you'll face me one-on-one. And at that moment, you'll begin to understand why. Everyone will understand why. You are a victim. I chose you, and there's good reason why. I'm not going to tell you that just yet. But here's the hint, Ray. A very special hint.
And that was what the main highlight of Raw this week, since there was no Santino Marella, from what I understand. Sorry if I'm a little bit blunt this week, everybody. I missed Raw this week, and Drew missed half of it, apparently. But it doesn't look like we missed much. Now, what's your take on Kane bringing out the mask, Drew?
I don't know. That storyline's getting sort of confusing.
They're not going to put the mask back on Kane, are they? And what would be the point of that? Everyone I see everywhere is asking, bring back the mask. And I just say, why? First off, Kane has brilliant facial expressions, so to hide him behind a mask would be a crime. But as we saw, it was the full mask, and Kane was having breathing issues under that full mask. And then, not to mention the fact that everybody knows what he looks like, so to be put him behind a mask would be foolish, since the whole purpose of the mask in the first place was to hide his identity. So it wouldn't serve any purpose at all. Now, well, we have plenty of time to talk about the big news of the week. Chris Jericho won the world title in a scramble match. We may as well talk about Unforgiven, since Raw didn't leave us too much. Well, what do you think about Chris Jericho winning the scramble match?
I don't really like how he got in the match, because Punk got taken out, and they could have took someone out like Mysterio. They could have Kane attack Mysterio or something, so Punk actually had a chance to defend his title.
Wait, Punk was taken out because he was attacked by Randy Orton and friends, aka the $1 Million Son, Ted DiBiase Jr., and Cody Rhodes, I think it was. I didn't watch Unforgiven either, because I don't have enough money to go buying pay-per-views, which don't have the most attractive cards. We have scramble matches, we have a tag team title match, we had a women's match, and then we had an unsanctioned match. Don't tell me that's the way they're going to end. That's unsanctioned, that rivalry that between Jericho and HBK. It wouldn't be fair to any of them. I mean, Unforgiven was a pay-per-view which I doubt anybody bought, and this rivalry deserves a Survivor Series send-off, a Royal Rumble send-off. It's worthy of a WrestleMania send-off, but that may have to stretch it for another 6 months. And I don't think the WWE creative team has enough imagination to do that. But regardless of that, we had other things that went down. What do you think about, I've been hearing for the longest time about a youth faction that is being planned, you know, consisting of second and third generation stars.
Yeah.
Randy Orton is obviously going to be the leader now. And then you have backing him up the tag team champions, Simply Priceless, whose theme music I didn't like at first, but it's kind of grown on me now. And then you have a new guy, I believe it's Alpha Jr., whatever his name was. Well, it's one of the Wentz moments from what I know. I didn't actually see any of this. I just know what I read. And this youth faction has the potential. I've been begging for the longest time to bring back a faction, because factions make things a lot more interesting. the last real faction you had was Evolution, and I'm not talking about the family or anything like that, with a performer, a general manager, a tag team that wasn't going anywhere until they broke off on themselves, and then you have Chavo Guerrero sliding in there for basically no reason at all, just because he's related to Vicky. So then you go back before that and you have Evolution, which goes back to 2004. They were all together. Randy was kicked out in about August 2004. Batista left at WrestleMania 21 in 2005, and it was just Rick and Triple H, which led off into a rivalry in 2006. So that was the end of Evolution and the end of factions. But factions make everything a lot more interesting. It's good to see two factions feuding together. The gang warfare, like back when in the 90s you had different factions feuding together over, like there was the DX Nation Wars, which were just priceless. But I guess we might as well move on here, since we obviously don't have as much time as we did last week at Wrestle-Talk Live, which, if you have not checked out, by the way, it's www.blogtv.com/people/WrestleTalk, Wrestle-Talk. You need to check out all the archives of that, because me and Drew just had a blast. We even had a fight in the chat room, which ended up in a major ownage. But we have 3 minutes remaining, so we may as well talk about something worthwhile. I hate to complain about things like this, but I want you to go back in time and find me a time-limited match. You could go back to WWF, as far as I'm concerned, and find me a time-limited match that didn't end in the last 30 seconds. It seems like all these time-limit matches, the 3-2-1 is becoming the 1-2-3 count. Jericho won it in the last 10 seconds. Triple H won it in the last few seconds. The only realistic one was Matt Hardy. I believe he won it with about 1 or 2 minutes remaining. It really, just things like that just really annoys me. It's happened. It's a very played out and useless old formula. And what else do we have on Raw this week? Nothing much. Well, I guess we can talk about. This is very empty this week. We don't have much to talk about now. I'm not missing Raw again. Well, I guess we can talk about the Steel Cage match next week. What do you think about the Steel Cage between Jericho and Punk?
I hope Jericho. I hope Punk puts up a good fight. But
okay. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. We're back, and with the remaining 1 minute 20 seconds. I forgot to mention a little something. You see, Drew and me were talking about things to say because we, quite frankly, ran out of stuff. And we began talking about Ric Flair and his daughter Ashley, who got into trouble with the law. But my focus right now is not on Ric's daughter, it's on one of Ric's sons. And I want to say, bring back David Flair. Okay, that was a joke. My pathetic attempt at humor. But anyway, well, that's what I was thinking about anyway. But according to Drew, TNA has a terrorist character that is going to appear on an edition of Impact, or something like that, on the 9/11 edition of Impact, and one can only hope that people aren't offended, let alone the fact that a riot may break out. But this is Winter So's fancy booking, and whatever happens is going to happen. I feel sorry for TNA, so check out Impact, and hopefully nobody is killed.